Yeah, baby, I'm finally back in action. You ain't going commando on these streets. I'm sorry, but currently, I don't have access to any legwear.
Hey, Negative Rizzler. I want to try this totally skippity ride out.
Well, cheers! Hello guys, this is GAMINGWILL896, and I'm finally back to making storytime animation videos. Today, we are going to be talking about just Blobby. Blobby, that is all. Blobby down your throat, so much that you will choke on him! Alright, so this all started back in March of 2020. I was chilling out in class, and then I felt the need to make a character. My previous anthropomorphic chalking balls that I slowly made more and more realistic until it became disturbing, seemed to do very well, so it's the next best thing to balls! I know, I'm gonna create a cartoon about walls! No, definitely not walls. Alright, let's go with eyes! Ugh. Nah, let's just go with blobs. Yeah, that's it. Just a nice red clay blob. So that's when I spent 10 minutes sculpting this new blob character out of clay, and I named him Blobby. I got my iPad out and I started to record a short test animation of him forming into a rope to get off a high surface, and then him killing himself. Seriously, lowest 10-year-old me thinking. And then one day, I decided to film another animation test. But the problem was...
Pookie is missing!
It's a good thing I have a spare one!
Sweet mother of goose, Jack! Well, you know what they say. Can't bake a pie without losing a dozen men. That was horrible! Your wish is horrible! You're horrible! You're an irredeemable monster! What took you so long, idiot?
Now, Timothy, you must do exactly as I say on set, or your family is gonna get demorphatized. Capiche? So the context in that scene is that 2 weeks after the first Blobby animation test, the global picnic happened, and I had to put the Blobby project on hold, or kinda not had to, but just did it just because, until April of 2021, where I decided to revive the idea with a new, redesigned, cute-esque Blobby with black beady eyes and a new front tooth.
Yeah, I kinda like the old one a bit better. He looks so derpy.
Honestly, I kinda have to agree with you. I like the old one a lot better too, compared to what I had for Blobby 1. Maybe someday I'll repurpose it. So anyway, after I made the redesign, I made another animation test, created one day before I started filming Blobby 1. This is it. Just a warning! Turn your volume down. Please, thank me later. That was technically the first time I ever voiced Blobby at 11 years old. I know he sounds like he inhaled 469 helium balloons before recording. I toned it down a lot when I made Blobby 1. Oh yeah, Blobby 1. That one. From April 27th, 2021 to May 12th, 2021, I filmed Blobby 1. It follows the plot of a newborn Blobby, having his father taken away from him by humans, and he waits 10 years to get him back, living in those 10 years in a trash can. And then, he finally talks to the audience about getting his father back. He then goes for it, is predicted to die, but doesn't, and him and his dad escape the humans and set up the sequel, Blobby 2, The Sibling Journey, coming July 10th, 2021. Well, that was the plot of Blobby 1, except everyone's not screaming for 2 minutes every 2 minutes! Which brings us to Blobby 2, The Sibling Journey. But before...
Oh, Garfield, face it! I'm cute, and you're not.
Listen, you might want to change to another channel for a moment so you won't see this.
Garfield, what are you doing? Let me go! Is this your idea of a joke or something?
And that's how I
got redesigned.
So yeah, my uncanny cute Blobby got times up by 11 with bigger eyes, and seriously nothing else. Blobby 2 was filmed from May 16th, 2021 to July 10th, 2021, and the plot is immediately begins after the first one ended. So Blobby begins by telling his dad about the webpage he saw in the ending of Blobby 1. His dad remembers that it was his mom in one of the stories, and Blobby's dad tells Blobby to look in the files of his brain. And so he finds a video of this mysterious figure kidnapping his brother and sister and mother. And Blobby goes to the police to see if they have any footage, and they do, believe it or not. Which leads Blobby to find them after 10 years of not seeing them, and team up with them to get their mother back. On the way, after some goofy antics, they finally make it to the first people and end them. Wait, why is there a police car coming towards them?
Okay, we want answers. Why did you resist a police officer?
Why are you police officers?
I blew up Malaysia.
So yeah, they move forward, save their mother, and everyone's happy. Yay! Can't wait for Blobby 3. Blobby 2 was a pain to read, and my voice can't even do it anymore. I'm done with it. Well, let's go over some facts about Blobby 2. So first of all, it's not a one-man show. My childhood best friend, Peter, voiced Roby, Blobby's brother, and that's all the credits. Another thing that I'd like to mention, which also goes for Blobby 1, is the voice acting. Blobby's voice right now is really high-pitched and a bit feminine, I might add. Well, it is actually pitched up very slightly, but not by much. Here's a comparison.
Probably because I was made out of that clay. So how do I get up this ramp, you may ask?
And same goes for Blobby's father. Here, he just sounds like a kid trying his hardest to sound like Patrick Star from SpongeBob. Blobby's sister just sounds like Blobby as a 4-year-old girl. And Blobby's brother just sounds like an average kid off the street. These two Blobbys had pretty consistent voices, which will not be the case eventually. So after Blobby 2 released on my old channel, it went completely silent, with the only thing having people hooked was the Blobby 3 end text and nothing else. Well, there is one more thing that I think needs mentioning, and that's Blobby Among the Imposter short. No Among Us memes in 2024! This video was made for my Google Classroom back in September of 2021 that no one saw it. It follows the plot of Blobby coming out of a portal that he can canonically make and ends up finding another person who looks exactly like him. No, turn that music off! Blobby then gives the other Blobby a challenge of looking each other in the eye to see who's the imposter. On the way, they do some goofy antics. They end up having a stock PNG of a Lego kid approach them and ask what they were doing, so both of the Blobbys vote him off, and the short ends. Yay! the first thing that I gotta mention is what the actual was I thinking with Blobby's design. His cheeks look like they're gonna explode. They're bigger than his god and that was the last piece of Blobby media for 2021. Now enter 2022, when I made this channel, but absolutely nothing with Blobby until the end of the year, where I started a Blobby sketchbook, and was basically a flippical plot trick that I'd constantly doodle in, and some drawings I drew in there were, well, I drew those when my hormones got crazy in 2023. Oh yeah, there's nothing else to talk about in 2022, so let's move on to 2023. I said 2023 music. Oh god, no! You can keep the 2012 music, dear god. So 2023 was a strong start with me hitting puberty and my voice getting deeper around March. And also around that time, I thought of making Blobby 3 a reality. Ideas for Blobby 3 actually started back in September of 2021, where I had the plot of Blobby and his siblings being orphaned off and brought to an orphanage, and that was pretty much all of what I wrote. Filming was supposed to begin in September of 2021 and would have released on February 25th, 2022, which was my 12th birthday. So I first started off with a short script on how I wanted the story to unfold. In the first 10 minutes only, LMAO, I didn't write anything else. Before production, I was skeptical on redesigning Blobby and the others, or keeping their designs the same. Here are some concept sketches for redesigned Blobby. Here, I'll show them off. Yep. On April 12th, 2023, I was going to film Blobby 3, and then I heard some feedback on the Blobby concept redesign in my community post, and I ended up making it but clay. If you're wondering why I didn't include the freckles, well, it was because when I put them on the cheek, it activated my triophobia, since I was poking them into the cheek. And if I put clay on top of them, they just look like blackheads. So ultimately, I removed them altogether. This is the original clay model that I was going to use for Blobby 3 before the redesign. Yep. Almost exactly the same as Blobby 2. Now that I'll stop yapping about Blobby 3 and describe the plot. Blobby 3 begins 1 month after Blobby 2, when Blobby's parents are walking them to the orphanage just because of one gag in Blobby 2, where Blobby spent all of their dad's money on a gaming PC, so they sell them off to make money, and are introduced to Miss Miss Soraya. Yeah. She acts mean towards the children.
Oh, hi there. Welcome to my palace. Oh, hi there. Please don't leave. I have no friends. Oh, hi there. Let's go camping. Let me. Oh, hi there.
And Blobby snaps at his brother.
You know what? You must be crap!
So after that, Blobby meets a few orphans, and they tell the siblings that there's no way out. They go to bed and wake up at 3 a.m. because of a sound that knocks them out, and Blobby sees himself. Geez, these orphans at 3 a.m. sure can be very quiet. What's the problem? He's been playing Friday Night Funkin' for 91 hours straight. And actually thinks he's becoming it. So when Blobby wakes up the next morning, Miss Soraya punishes him for shooting her by sending him to do bathroom duties. This is where we finally get met to the greatest character ever conceived in cinematic history, Larry! No, not the cucumber. This one! He tells Blobby with his horrible Australian accent how he's going to work a toilet plunger, and Blobby somehow ends up getting flushed. Okay, this is getting way too long. I'll talk more about Blobby 3 another day. Here are some facts about Blobby 3. If it ever does come out, it'll be my last performance as Blobby, since my voice had hit puberty by the time I started recording. Here's a comparison between my voice, like in Blobby 1 or 2 and Blobby 3.
You guys don't scare me. You're still littler than me.
And here's an actual real outtake, just to show you that my Blobby voice is slowly dying.
Are you Boggart's brother?
And when deciding the next Blobby voice actor, the first person I had in mind was the voice you've heard on this channel before, Anthony. The voice of Aang in Dad Hunting was basically very similar to Blobby's. Here's an audio clip from him.
I have this app on my phone, and it's called a tracker, and when it finds someone really close, it beeps really loud.
But the thing was that he moved by the time that Blobby 3 had started production. And even if he didn't, I'm sure he would have hit puberty by then. I wanted to have a similar voice to Aang's voice. That's where I started considering Karen the Siren as Blobby, for the vocal range he has, and never saw the light of day. Blobby's next voice actor would be left in the dark until January 2024, where I hired What the EK to play Blobby. Going onward. If you're wondering, here's a comparison between the same line from when I was younger and him.
Well, I guess I was a pretty good replacement for you. Well, I guess I was a pretty good replacement for you.
Okay, I'll go lightning round. Blobby facts. Blobby was born on May 12th, 2011, making him 1 year younger than me and 2 years younger than EK. Blobby has a hatred for the letter E.
How dare you say that cursed word? No, you can't say that.
And will do goofy antics if you say it. Even if Blobby is 13 now in 2024, but is still 10. Because he never physically or mentally escaped 2021. Blobby weighs 156 pounds, or 150 if you don't count his bangs, which weigh 3 pounds each. Blobby, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the future for Blobby. Like, what's gonna happen for his future. Okay. So, one thing that I have planned that may come out someday is a dark Blobby TV show, which I don't know the name of, but it'll star Blobby as a 14 or 15-year-old as a protagonist with a group of freedom fighters, which I may cut down on some, but I think it'll be good. The plot of the show will be about them trying to stop a deadly plague where small creatures eat away the clay on blobs, effectively killing them. That's right, there's death in this series, and this series which they will try and vaccinate them and save the apocalyptic world like COVID-19. Also, I've had this kind of idea for a piece of Blobby media since 2022. Here's my original 2022 character designs versus my 2023 redesigns for them. Which, some I may give a second redesign, but the best thing I compare this show to is Sonic Sat AM. With the Freedom Fighters and the apocalyptic world where Robotnik has taken over 90% of it. And technically this could also be compared to a much darker version of Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. And since Blobby is a teenager in the show, that means that I might be able to return as the voice of Blobby, but just make it my normal voice, but higher. If the show ever premieres, it's going to be on Goofy Gang Productions YouTube channel. And that is essentially my pitch for this concept. As expected, there will be more Blobby shorts over the summer, and that basically wraps up this video. And a reminder, I know where you live. No. I mean, cheers! And listen to the song I made in 7th grade for music class. It's amazing, and I swear, I'll make more videos on my personal life.
Never play Bro Cook again.
Man, this was a music project in 7th grade. Of course it sounds like that.